The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Television, radio, internet, the world.
I came to play, there's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back, watch your future fade. I came to play, get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play, there's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back, watch your future fade. I came to play, get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved.
Thanks, pal.
Don't even say my name. Don't think that you can know me.
Hey, he's your kid. And now he's a part of the Ms. Marquee Nation. Ha ha! He makes a good K-Rye.
How does that happen?
Well, on Monday night's radio show, you decided that I could not share with the world out there and everyone who wanted to know who the Nelson family was.
And nobody cares about your Nelson.
They care. They absolutely care. They care so much that the PWR marketing team has decided that we are going to be doing a fantasy draft. Oh yeah,
Really?
a fantasy draft. You're picking 10 names, I'm picking 10 names. 5 from WWE and TNA, 5 from WWE and TNA from me as well. And at that point, that's when I will reveal the Nelson family. The
Wait,
biggest
so
faction,
me-
the most important wrestling faction in the history of wrestling since the Heenan family.
I get to pick 10 guys to go against your 10 guys
Or gals, yeah.
for like a whole year?
It's going to be points. Every pay-per-view points will be issued, and at the end of the year, come WrestleMania 28 in Miami, Florida, will determine who won. And you may as well concede now.
Oh, this is perfect. Really?
Oh yeah. The marketing team is smart.
Yeah, but I'm,
We've done drafts on this show in the past, but this is epic compared to those.
but I'm the booker. I know how this is all going to play out.
You think you do, pal.
Even Ray Charles can see that I'm going to win.
What about Stevie Wonder?
Him too.
Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Octavius, the Tiberius Hero.
When I'm done, Cal, we're going to have a chat. I can't believe he sold out to you of all people.
He called me the other day after the radio show. He listened to it the next morning because you had put him to bed. And he said, I can't believe my dad did that. I feel so bad. It's your show. He's ended the show before it was over.
Oh my
Frank's
gosh.
talking about ESPN and 540 on ESPNWalkie.com. See you next Saturday. He didn't know where he was, and I'm just trying to share with the world my Nelson family.
Okay. He's still grounded.
I can't control that. I mean, he's in a
Is
good
this
place.
why I got the
He's
scarf
my
back?
VP of Corporate Communications.
Now I see why I got the scarf through security tonight. You
Absolutely.
had your own little shenanigans.
That draft will be coming the week after WrestleMania. That fantasy draft will be coming the week after WrestleMania from the Pro Wrestling Report. So, David Hero, let's get right down to it. And on this program, we're going to be talking about the best and worst WrestleManias, as WrestleMania is coming up next week on pay-per-view. Speaking of next week, it's a special Be the Booker week-long marathon. Every day next week, Tuesday through Sunday, a brand new edition of PWR Be the Booker as we look at WrestleMania 27 match by match. It's gonna be fun.
That's a lot of extra dates.
It is, but those were worked into your new 3-year
See,
deal.
I didn't see that.
You should
part of
start
it.
reading these contracts. But David Hero, we haven't been here in the TV studio since TNA's Victory Road situation from a couple of weeks ago. Now we've had a chance to see what TNA has chosen to do with last week's Impact and even last night's Impact. And Jeff Hardy is but a whisper in the wind now to TNA Wrestling after showing up to TNA Victory Road in a state where he was not able to effectively perform and really putting a black eye on TNA, the organization.
He wasn't in any state, period. I mean, poor Jeff. Hopefully he gets his stuff, his act together, gets things right.
As JR would say, some demons to take care of.
Demons, absolutely. And anyone that says that demons weren't involved is lying.
But David, they know. They read it.
But
Doesn't mean
But now
anything.
they're hearing it from us.
Oh.
So now it's, almost gospel. I like Jeff, super talented kid, guy, and he'll be back. I mean, there's no question he'll be back in TNA within 6 months to a year.
Really?
He makes too much money for the company. And he'll come back
But
as a
at what
babyface
cost?
because
At what cost?
listen, it's already written. If you listen to the promo last week, how Hogan and Bischoff and Sting said he couldn't handle being in the shadow and he was cast off. What better way to leave the door open for him to come back and say, hey, Hogan, I wasn't in your shadow, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll feud against the heels and make even more money.
I don't know about that, David. What I do know is we had the opportunity to talk to Jeff Hardy a couple of months back. And we talked to him about his situation.
Yes.
And maybe it was a bit of a preview to what happened at Victory Road, because I would say he really wasn't at all concerned about the felony charges he was facing.
Not at all.
And said that, it would be fine and that there would be no issue with his situation, and really just didn't, it was almost like it wasn't happening, which, I'll speak from my standpoint, put me at ease in the whole situation, because if anybody knows, he would know what really is going on in the courtroom and with his lawyers and what was the reason he had so much of that substance, of those substances. But you gotta wonder, though, court date's still coming up, and they keep continuing the trial due to people still getting all their stuff in order.
From what I understand is when the feds broke down the door, they didn't have all the right paperwork in order. There was no probable cause. So he's not going to serve jail time. He may serve probation, but that'll be about it.
But if you're the prosecutor, you seemingly have a lot of evidence against Jeff Hardy.
But it all depends on how you get it.
Correct. Well, he presented it on national television, in theory, and there's a lot of people who can speak to his condition in his state.
That's completely different. He's not on trial for
correct.
his
You are correct. It won't help him. Let's just make sure that's clear.
Well, just like, Chris Brown, What happens after incidents don't always help them either.
Well, we were going to have him on the radio show, and as you know, we're in a glass studio. And those chairs are heavy.
And plus,
And you'd have pissed them off beyond no end, talking about your girl Rihanna there.
Absolutely.
You'd have been sitting there like Jim Rome saying "Ooh na na" all interview, and he'd have knocked you out. Knocked you, and you'd have been wearing a face mask like Cody Rhodes. He's hood.
That's fine. He's a midget too. They gotta be able to reach the jaw, baby. They can't reach.
A lot has gone on within TNA since this happened. And while there may not have been much discussion about Jeff Hardy behind the scenes, there's certainly a lot of discussion on air about Jeff Hardy. The way Hogan, Sting, Bischoff, RVD, Anderson, the way they handled that situation basically reset TNA after Victory Road, the first Impact after Victory Road. Was it well handled, or did they miss the boat?
You know what? I'm surprised they even acknowledged him at all. Normally, they just don't acknowledge problems like that, and they keep going forward. Obviously, TNA felt differently. I mean, Vince never would have acknowledged Jeff Hardy the night after. There's no way he would have.
Did they have to, though?
No, of course not. He lost. He's not the champ anymore. Move on. He got squashed in a minute 38. What is there to talk about?
I think it was minute 28, by the way.
Yeah. Tomato.
You said on our ESPN radio show after Victory Road, it was after Victory Road, that TNA, if they continued along this course, may not have more than 12 months left before they are suffering the fate of a WCW or an ECW.
I still feel that way. Absolutely. I mean, and you know what? They are trying to do things the right way. I was completely flustered as to why they're pushing Bully Ray.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. He's a legitimate heel that people truly hate. And right now, they don't have any of those in TNA right now.
Mm-mm. And he's doing a hash mark tremendous job at it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, I cringed. I was like, oh, God, this is why they're going to go on the
But
thing.
it wasn't because of his talent or lack thereof,
No.
because he's very talented.
It's because he's run his course.
What I took away from the last 2 weeks of Impact was this. You got Bully Ray. You've got Fortune. You've got Rob Terry, like him or not. You've got all this new
You just
blood, if
put
you will.
Rob Terry in the same group
Let
as
me finish.
Bubba
Let me
and
finish. Let me
Fortune.
finish. TNA seemingly has redirected their focus to the guys they should be focused on, which are those that they built on their own.
Okay.
I mean, they've still got RVD in there. You still got Anderson in there. Abyss, you know, his pending return, and then the big return next week on Impact, which we won't spoil. But you know, like it or not, I think that they sort of have been forced to look at things in a different way as far as who
They
they're
have no
presenting.
choice because they have to fill voids right now. And the loss of
Just 'cause Jeff Hardy's got?
He's a big void to fill.
I think you overrate his impact on TNA.
Okay, you throw
I'm not saying he's overrated. I'm
throw him
saying
on a
like-
poster, and then have the same poster with your boy Rob Terry and Bully Ray and Fortune, and you tell me what poster is going to sell more tickets to the casual fan.
Obviously.
Okay, so that's a huge void. Fortune is 4, Bully Ray is 5, Rob Terry is 6, against one Jeff Hardy. As talented as Fortune is, that poster will not sell more tickets than one of just Jeff Hardy.
I'm not going to dispute you on that,
Okay.
but I don't think Jeff Hardy is.
So I'm right.
Jeff Hardy is certainly one of those people in the overall mix of TNA that brings people into the building. But I think that they have a diverse enough talent roster that they can certainly succeed without
That
Jeff Hardy.
nobody knows.
They know Ric Flair. They know Hulk Hogan. They know Jeff Jarrett.
I
They know
think-
RVD. They know
hold on.
Anderson.
Okay, for me, as far as the top 5 poster guys go, Hogan,
Top 5 poster guys. What is this?
in
Another
TNA,
special episode?
Hogan, Flair, Jeff Hardy. I'll put Sting on there,
Mhm.
and then tie with Ken Anderson and Rob Van Dam. I do not put Jeff Jarrett on the poster.
Kurt Angle.
And Kurt, okay, 6. But that's it. But they don't build the company or the house shows around those guys. Hogan hasn't done a house show.
Mhm.
Angle hasn't been on a house show in a while. Sting doesn't do house shows, so now you take those 3 out. It's all about selling tickets. And Rob Terry does not sell tickets.
I'll tell you who is selling tickets. The MME champion,
The me?
The Miz. Just saying. What do they do to fix it, David Hero? Everybody can be a critic, and this has been a huge storm of negative publicity for TNA as a result of what happened at Victory Road. But how do they fix it? What do you do? And it's easy to criticize, but what's the solution? And it's not. I'll go through the obvious things it won't be. It's not the next big game changer in TNA because they can't, even if they present a game changer, it won't be a game changer. It's not a new talent coming in. How do they fix what they have and, firstly, get their core audience back to them? Because they alienated a lot of them at Victory Road. And secondly, get more people buying these pay-per-views and watching Impact on a regular basis. Now, they've got 2 million viewers a week, by the way, and SmackDown's averaging about 3 million viewers a week. So it's not that big of a gap between them and what their goal is by Dixie Carter's own
SmackDown's
admission.
on
SmackDown.
Sci-Fi as opposed to Spike.
Their goal is to overtake SmackDown. Dixie has said that publicly.
Well, and they might be able to on Sci-Fi. Not everyone has Sci-Fi. Am I wrong?
I think Sci-Fi and Spike are in about the same number of homes.
Oh, okay. What TNA has to do is put their world championship on a heel. And let the babyface chase it. Let them build, I say this, it's like a broken record, emotional investment. Let them want to cheer for somebody to go after the heel. And they don't have a strong heel to do it with right now. Even when Jeff Hardy was their heel, he wasn't a true heel. He wasn't.
Those two words make no sense.
Well, but he wasn't. Because he's still... the fans still like him. The women and children still like Jeff Hardy. They need a heel with true X-Pac heat. And when I say X-Pac heat, that is they just truly hate the guy.
Jeff Jarrett was that guy for a while in TNA.
But he doesn't fit that.
Bully Ray is on his way to being that guy,
You cannot
possibly.
put the title on Bully Ray. Can you imagine him on the top of a pay-per-view?
Would you be surprised if they did?
They'll get less than their 3,000 buys right now.
Would you be surprised if they did make him champion?
Yes.
You would be? Really?
I'd be
I
heartbroken.
can't say I would be. I said, or would you be surprised?
Yes, I'd be very surprised. Are you kidding me? Bully Ray as the TNA World Champion.
I'm just simply throwing it out
It's
there.
talk like that will have Cal jump ship back over to me, just so you know.
Oh, no. There's ink on paper.
He's a minor.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's all fine. It's all good in the hood.
You know what they could do
What could they do, David?
is flip AJ Styles to a heel. Put the belt on him.
But that
But they
didn't.
can't. They can't do it now.
AJ's been champion. AJ's been heel. This Fortune group, I really
But
like it.
AJ never had a group like Fortune with him, and he never had some strong babyfaces to work with. He could work with RVD, Ken Anderson. He could do do something with Sting.
TNA Impact last week, Raw this past Monday night. A lot of people talking about how much wrestling there wasn't. And you talked about it on this past Monday's ESPN radio show as well. Now, I'm on record saying I don't really care how much wrestling there is on Raw, Impact, or SmackDown, because I believe I'm conditioned to know that when I tune into Raw, I might see a good match. When I tune into Impact, I might see a good match. When I tune into SmackDown, I'm probably going to see a good match. But there's a lot of discussion and a lot of talk about how there was less than 10 minutes, I believe, of wrestling on Impact and less than 20 minutes of wrestling on Raw this past Monday night. Is that really that big of a problem?
Well, it's pro wrestling. That's when people tune in. They want to see some wrestling. Listen, long gone are the days of the entertaining promos of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and DX and Kurt Angle and Mankind. Okay, those are gone. Long gone are the work shoot promos of the NWO. Okay. I didn't mind it back then because it was very entertaining and interesting.
So you're saying the boredom of the talking is what made the point that there was no wrestling going on.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say that on Raw, we certainly didn't need another Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler
And
segment.
there's going to be another one this Monday from Chicago.
But I think I'm holding out hope for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at ringside at WrestleMania 27. Here's the team I expect to see. Are you ready for this? Are you
Yes.
ready for this?
Sure.
Booker T, Josh Matthews, which is a huge statement, by the way, to have Josh Matthews calling WrestleMania, and Jim Ross.
I can see it.
Because how can Michael Cole or Jerry Lawler call any part of the pay-per-view?
They can. Because when they do that, if they're out there, then wrestling's fake. Because they should be in the back preparing, getting ready for their match.
Even if it's the opening match, they come back out later.
Absolutely.
Even if it's in the middle of the card and they start the show.
Absolutely.
Even if it's near the end of the card and they do the beginning of the show.
Absolutely. Because if you're in a true athletic competition, you're not sitting down talking. You're stretching,
Tape
going
it
over
up.
game plan. Yeah, tape whatever up.
We said Booker T. Your thoughts about Booker T so far on the
Hasn't been
broadcast
bad
side
at
of
all.
SmackDown?
Hasn't been bad at all.
I like it. Booker T he's got a very unique talent set, a very unique skill set. It's almost like what you saw when he was King Booker and then Black, whatever it was it
Black Snow.
Black Snow in TNA, and where he can go to prim proper, from prim proper to a little bit of urban to just straight get up.
A little Chris Brown. Absolutely.
What'd you call Chris Brown?
Well, violent. Chair
He
smashing.
went to anger management classes. He's all right. Why do you keep bringing him up?
Because he's an idiot. Toolbox of the week as far as I'm concerned. Some people just don't learn their lessons.
He's got issues.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, David Hero, is next Sunday on pay-per-view. We're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia for that event all weekend long. And you can meet Frank, Linda, and myself at the Pro Wrestling Report WrestleMania meetup. It's a pre-Hall of Fame party, WrestleMania weekend. We're going to be at Stats in Atlanta, which is just around the corner from Phillips Arena. So if you're going to the Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, whatever it may be that night, you still have the opportunity to stop by and see the Pro Wrestling Report team. Free admission, buy your own drinks and food. Free admission, but come on down to Stats. And I understand that there's been a lot of discussions with a lot of people who might be stopping by as well.
There could be some surprises. Could be very interesting.
So you certainly want to be there. David, I'm sorry, you'll be there as well, right?
Well, if I'm still invited.
Well, yeah.
You just blew me off. Come on.
No, I forgot. I got a lot going on here.
Thanks, pal.
That's Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And as we said, next week, be the booker all week long. We're live on ESPN Radio Monday night. Then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, brand new installments of Be the Booker. And then
Sunday,
the full
right?
episode. The full episode of Be the Booker on Sunday, along with our WrestleMania preview episode of the Pro Wrestling Report featuring...
If we're doing Be the Book and now we're doing a preview? These guys get too much.
Featuring all of you. Show up at Stats on Saturday night or Saturday evening right before the Hall of Fame. The PWR cameras will be there and we'll be filming your thoughts on WrestleMania 27 to include as part of that special episode on Sunday right before WrestleMania. And David Hero, yes,
so you're going to make people stars.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to make them famous.
That's what it's all about.
And as well as that, just after WrestleMania, we're going to be live on the radio, on Blog Talk Radio, with the post show from the suite at the Georgia
I thought
Dome.
you said the Pope show. I was like, what? Come on.
That'll be when we go to Cincinnati for lockdown.
Cincinnati.
Just a couple weeks after that. But if you haven't already, go to our Facebook page and RSVP for that party at Stats on Saturday, where you can be on the Pro Wrestling Report broadcast. I say all that to get to this. WrestleMania 27, a mixed bag out there of people's thoughts about whether or not it's worth ordering. As the card is right now, before we book it, before you be the booker for it, how does this WrestleMania rank as far as being under the banner of WrestleMania? Is it a WrestleMania-worthy card overall, not looking at one match, two match, overall is it a WrestleMania-worthy card, and is it worth the $50 to $60 that people are going to pay for it? Which is difficult to judge beforehand, but you have to judge it beforehand because you got to click that buy button to order the pay-per-view.
Well, Cal just hits anyhow. He doesn't care. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be in their top 10 WrestleManias. You know, I mean, it's kind of, it just seems like it's all just matches that have happened on Raw under a bigger microscope.
Really?
Yeah. We've already seen Del Rio and Edge. We've already seen Miz and Cena. We've already seen Triple H and Undertaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean...
Miz and Cena, you got The Rock involvement, makes it special, WrestleMania. Triple H Taker, you've got the streak, makes it special, WrestleMania.
Under a...
Edge Del Rio
bigger
for
microscope.
the World Championship makes it special, WrestleMania. By the way, it appears as if Christian's going to be added to that matchup.
Yeah,
And
that's
especially if you
amazing.
watch SmackDown tonight, you will see what Christian does, and it appears as if this means he wants a
But-
piece of WrestleMania.
Here's the thing.
What's the thing?
He didn't win the Rumble. Why should he be in the match?
Are you really thinking that deep into it? You said earlier it's professional wrestling.
Right, but it takes away from winning the Rumble. If you can just insert
Elimination
yourself
Chamber,
into
the
match.
February pay-per-view, has always taken away from winning the Rumble. The Rumble matters for the 30 days leading up to it and the 3
No,
weeks
the
after.
Rumble matters for the main event at WrestleMania.
Not to me, it doesn't. Not anymore. They've crapped all over that for the last however many years.
I'm just saying, Christian should not be allowed in. He did not win the Rumble.
Think
He
about
wasn't
it.
even in the Rumble.
True. The Rumble's a distant memory
No,
right
it's
now.
not.
Really?
It's the number 2 pay-per-view of the
Yeah,
year.
but it's a distant one. Okay, you remember SummerSlam, the number 3 pay-per-view of the year?
Absolutely. That was when Nexus got jobbed.
Speaking of which, how about a spoiler?
I'm not spoiling nothing.
This is a spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. This is information about tonight's SmackDown broadcast. If you don't want to know, give us 30 seconds.
I'll give us 10. We'll do the countdown. 3 little
Countdowns are boring.
Three
We're going
little
to do a
clock up
countdown
there or
live on
something.
air. No, we don't have room for a clock. How do you feel about these new digs?
You know
I'm on the
what?
Democratic side of things.
I can tell by looking at you.
Brand new Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown tonight. Wade Barrett of the Core walks out with gold. Now, David Hero, you've got
Breakout Star of the Year, Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion. You've got Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater, the Tag Team Champions. Big Zeke. And not a match yet for WrestleMania, but one's got to venture to say that there will be one now.
Well, you got to figure it's going to be the tag champs against Big Show and Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, yes.
That
Really?
does not look good for Nexus or the Core. Think about it.
Oof.
You know what I mean? I mean, talk about baptism by fire. Welcome to WrestleMania. Then you got Big Show and Kane, former world champions, former tag team champions.
Big Show goes from teaming with The Miz to teaming with Kane, but being in two tag team matchups year after year at WrestleMania. Back to WrestleMania, the card, when I look at the card overall, it's like, I'm not sure how strong this is.
Isn't that what I said? It's like Raw under a microscope.
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I just said I'm not sure this is as strong as it can be, but then I think back to WrestleMania 26. Wasn't very strong at all on paper. And it was really overshadowed, I think, by by HBK Taker. And I for one, don't have much interest in the Triple H Undertaker matchup this year. I don't know why.
Because there's no reason Triple H should put his career on the line.
And maybe he will. He really got close to doing that this past Monday night on Raw, it seemed.
But a weak build-up for that is a huge mistake.
Well, he did say, though, he's going to go face-to-face with The Undertaker this Monday night in Chicago on Raw.
Yeah.
So maybe that's when it happens. Maybe Undertaker challenges him and he throws it all out.
But they've already accepted. They already have the match booked. Why challenge anything? Why put the career line now? It's too late. He's already in the match. That'd be stupid.
David Hero's primary problem this week, ladies and gentlemen, is he's thinking too logically about professional wrestling.
That's what I'm here for. But you know what? That right there is the problem. If the booking committees would think logically, maybe the storylines would mean more. Maybe there'd be more interest, more believability.
But it's an escape. It's entertainment.
It's
action adventure.
You can still escape with good booking.
I think they booked Cody Rhodes fairly well.
Oh, come on.
He's no longer dashing,
Well, yeah, because that failed miserably. Nobody bought into that.
Put him in the match at WrestleMania.
You can buy his dashing T-shirts now for $3.99.
Along with many others, right? Yes. Don't you sit there and try to do that spin cycle.
Is there a Sheamus T-shirt on sale?
Yes, there is. Triple H T-shirts, HBK
$3.99?
T-shirts. Yes. All the old school WWE.
Lies.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to look it up right now.
Lies.
You keep talking. Why don't you talk to your people out there?
because
Any Twitter friends you want to talk to out there, huh?
No, Twitter's fine. But right
I'm
now...
look it up, WWEshop.com.
Please, yes. And then you will see that Cody has the cheapest T-shirt on the website. Yeah.
You're ready to make that, you care to make it interesting?
What is there to be interesting about?
Dollar bet?
You know what? I think the Billy...
No, don't you
The
dare.
Billy
See,
Gunn
that's
T-shirt
just
is cheaper.
unwinding.
But he hasn't been on TV in 7 years.
What does it matter how much the shirts cost?
So it shows you...
He's on a shirt.
When they're that cheap, that means nobody wants them.
No, it means they made too many.
And nobody wants them.
And they underestimated the demand, and thus they need to. It's what it is they're trying to get people into the store, and once you get people into the store and out to the website, you can sell them
clearance,
up. You
the
can
first
sell them.
picture you see is Cody Rhodes.
No,
How
you're
about that?
lying. You're lying. Look, all right, okay. So let's see what's on sale here. Look,
Cody Rhodes.
You get a ginormous Rey Mysterio for $29.99. All right, let's see. Use code LASTCALL, 2 days only. I'm going to challenge you on this. Cody Rhodes, a cheaper shirt on the website. Really?
He is.
No.
See? There it is. How about that?
Clearly there's a problem with WWEshop.com. Because there is no way that the Dashing One shirt is...
$3.99. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, it's...
Uh-huh. It's
What
fine.
were you saying?
No, I'm just saying it. I don't know. Go to the next match.
CM Punk Orton, I'm actually very intrigued by that one. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, very intrigued by that one, actually. I think they built this tremendously. I think it's been a great psychological build for those two. I think this WrestleMania is shaping up to be very good, but if they did not have The Rock, If they did not have The Rock,
Would
where
not
would
be
this
as good.
WrestleMania be?
It would be.
If they didn't have Snooki, where would this WrestleMania
It'd be Monday Night Raw. They needed The Rock. Absolutely. He changed the whole landscape of the whole show.
Absolutely, you did. Mm-hmm. This past Monday night on our ESPN radio show, we were asked best and worst WrestleMania. I don't think you ever gave your worst.
Yeah, I said a couple and you didn't agree with me. I said 9, then I said 7 or 8, and
It's very difficult to look at a WrestleMania and say the whole thing was horrible. But maybe it's not so difficult. But you can certainly look at certain moments at WrestleMania that you can't believe ever happened. I would say one of those moments would be the Dog Kennel from Hell match at WrestleMania 15.
was that with Al?
Al Snow
Al
and
Bossman.
Big Boss Man. Al Snow's talked about it on this very program, by the way.
Yeah, he hated that match. The dog's crapped and pissed all over the place.
And you got Big Boss Man hanging from the Hell in a Cell.
Well, that
Really?
was with Taker.
Was it? Maybe that wasn't at a Mania.
It wasn't at a Mania. Because Taker wrestled
The
Boss
Dog
Man.
Kennel Hell, the Hell, the
That
Kennel
was
match?
just a pay-per-view.
Really?
I think
I thought that was Mania. Big Boss
Well,
Man
I'm
Taker
sure
was
I'm
a...
sure you know in a few minutes you'll see all the comments down below.
Don't tell us.
Well, I think look at your little iPad. You know that's
Hey,
eating up
hey.
all the bandwidth in the world right now.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing.
Yes.
I don't use AT&T. I don't use Verizon. I'm off that kind of grid.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be blaming me for these iPhone woes. You got your little iPhone there.
No, I don't. I got my little
That's all you
BlackBerry.
use is your iPhone.
That's all I need is my BlackBerry. iPhone is like social. BlackBerry's for business.
What are some of those moments at WrestleMania that just like really?
I shook my head.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg after WrestleMania
that
20.
match
You were
could
there
have been
live.
So good. It could have been so good. It was just brutal. I don't know. I just can't think of too many off the top of my head that were just like, this is terrible. You know?
Really?
You know what? Giant Gonzalez and Undertaker with the chloroform.
Yeah.
You know?
WrestleMania 9.
That was Vegas.
Yeah.
You liked that one.
Where
too.
it was Macho Man was at the broadcast position. He's like, "What's that? Do you smell that? You smell that? What's that? Chloroform?
And then when
chloroform?
LOD
Chloroform."
2000 made their
Ooh,
return.
WrestleMania 14.
That
was a battle royal, wasn't
yeah,
it? To
yeah,
open
when they
up
came
the
out,
paper?
and Sonny looked amazing.
Well, how
But
could she not?
But LOD 2000, brutal. LOD should never have to be rebranded. They never ever. They're just that good. You can't find it, can you? Your funny little iPad. It's not working now, is it?
It's working. Just look, we're going to be spending
You know what it is?
a week.
You're 0 for 2 tonight.
How so?
You didn't listen about the Corridors t-shirt, and now I told you it wasn't at WrestleMania with Alan Bossman. Come on. Let me know how that works for you. So I can hold your pants up too?
No, I got suspenders on under this.
Okay.
All right, so maybe it's not so easy to think about those, oh my God, this happened at a WrestleMania moments.
Mhm.
What about the, at WrestleMania 19, the Playboy pillow fight? I mean, it was fun to watch.
That was at
but
20,
really?
wasn't it?
19. Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, that was nice. I mean, to see Tori and Keebler and Jackie and Sable, absolutely.
How about some of those great moments? I mean, there's so many of them.
Warrior and Hogan was great. Andre Hogan was great. Steamboat and Savage was awesome. Hogan and Rock was great. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man was tremendous. Taker and Diesel was good. That's when Taker beat Diesel when he went over. Then he went over to WCW, where he sold the Tombstone for like an hour after the match. But he does
Just
business
laid
the right
there.
way.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
just laid
he
there.
did it the right way.
Yeah.
TLC matches with the Hardys, ENC, and Dudleys. Those were tremendous.
And as we talk about these moments, the reason is the DVD release of the True Story of WrestleMania, which really does a great job of talking about each and every WrestleMania and giving you a lot of backstory and telling you a lot of things that you maybe never thought you would hear. Specifically, I would say, and the WrestleMania you didn't talk much about, but a good one, a great one almost, I think, at that. Ric Flair and the
Savage.
Macho Man at WrestleMania 8, which was a spectacular match. And the reasoning why it wasn't Flair Hogan, and the explanation of that it was supposed to be Flair Hogan going into that pay-per-view, which didn't
Now
happen
hold
that
on.
way.
Keep in mind, they're saying that about Flair and Hogan as they are now working for TNA.
See, you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, but
You
I
haven't seen
heard.
it. No, I will say, and I am usually jaded by WWE's DVD releases because they do that kind of stuff. They gave a ton of time to Hogan, a ton of time to Flair. Hogan was included, which means they're paying him. So if they really wanted to screw him, they wouldn't include him on this DVD. And David, this was the first WWE DVD release that I've seen where they didn't bury anybody and they didn't gloss over anything that was touchy. I mean, they went in depth on every WrestleMania and gave you perspectives.
Did
that
they show Benoit on that DVD?
No.
So they did gloss over some things that were touchy.
Understandably so, but not for the point of burying someone or, you know.
Okay.
Where are you tonight? Is it the glare from the boat?
No, it's you took my son and you used him against him.
He called me! He apologized for you!
Yeah.
See what happens? When you're so evil all the time, it catches up with you eventually.
I'm not evil. I'm honest. That's the big difference.
WrestleMania 15. See, I'm looking here now. It was a Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Big Boss Man, just like I said at WrestleMania 15.
See?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. The DVD is great, and many of you asked us for our thoughts on it. It's a must pick up, and really doesn't get any better really in recent WWE DVD releases than the Bobby Heenan DVD. So if you haven't picked it up as well, as a matter of fact, many of these DVD titles available now on Netflix. You can go ahead and hop on over to Netflix and get a lot of these DVDs from WWE streaming now. So you just click play.
Please don't tell Cal that. He'll just keep hitting buy.
Well, if you have a subscription to Netflix, you don't have to buy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as low as $8 a month, I believe.
You can't beat that.
You can write it off too. I mean, you got to read your contract. Some of those things are in there.
Okay.
Just saying. You have a viewing budget of $14 a month for wrestling events.
Wrestling events. There's some interesting
Well-
wrestling pay-per-views on TV, so.
And they all go before the audit board before you're reimbursed for your expense reports on that.
Gotcha.
WrestleMania 27, next Sunday on pay-per-view. As I said, we're going to be covering it like no other. TNA's got a pay-per-view coming up called Lockdown in the next few weeks. I think the build for Lockdown has been good. We're going to be live at Lockdown in Cincinnati. We're going to see who the
We'll
number
be there
one
at the
contender
fan access in
actually ends up
Cincinnati.
being. How many people aren't going to buy tickets or VIP or travel packages for this show based off of Victory Road? You think when's that burn going to rub off? For the fans, the loyal TNA fans. I think a lot of it has already.
You think so?
I think a lot of it has.
Okay. Well, yeah, they probably got their 6-month subscription to TNAOnDemand.com
Does it make good?
for some people.
Hey, we qualify for that. I didn't even think to sign up.
I'll never admit to it, so I'm not going to send it in.
Let's go to Linda and Frank, who are in the social media center, talking a little bit about your thoughts about TNA and WWE from this past week. Linda, Frank, take it away.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and welcome to the social media center here. How are you
It's
doing?
beautiful here.
It really is. It's nice inside, nice outside, and
Perfect.
got a lot of heat starting up the days leading up to WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
We'll start up right now by reading some of your tweets regarding this past Raw. We'll start with Cubs fan 2240 saying the difference between WWE and TNA is that WWE does it and it's all over the news, and that's been very prominent the past few weeks that we've seen on Raw. All right, J Bells 81 says this Cole Jerry crap is getting old. I really hope that come WrestleMania they let Jerry kick the crap out of him and that JR comes back.
We shall see.
Doug Jabert's Keys says the stage light, a concrete DDT, Nexus beatdown, fired, and Miz is what finally makes Cena miss a week on Raw. A lot of stuff going on. And the final tweet we have right now, it's from Johnny F. and Kennedy saying that they're doing a tremendous job of building Cole versus Lawler. Can't wait for Lawler's revenge at Mania. He deserves it.
Wow, couple tweets right there from one side and the other as far as JR and Cole. That'll be interesting. We got an email here from Stephen Breach. Stephen says, do you think that the natural hype for WrestleMania has lessened over the years? It seems like Mania used to sell itself without any sort of push from WWE. Do you think it's slowly losing that ability? Stephen, no. WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of wrestling, and they do a tremendous job of marketing it and getting you to buy that pay-per-view. Everything rides on this pay-per-view and kind of sets up the whole year. So I don't think it's losing its natural hype. They know what they're doing there. It's a marketing machine at WWE. They're doing a fantastic job, in my opinion.
Yes, even if it does include bringing in Snooki and just reaching out to another audience. That's just part of
Absolutely.
WrestleMania. You have your celebrity. You gotta get that other core audience, as you said, to the WrestleMania of wrestling.
Good point.
All right, and now we'll read your YouTube comment of the week. It comes from Ghostwriter74 saying, one of the guys that had an innate understanding of psychology and how to grip an audience without shouting was Jake the Snake Roberts, a great storyteller in and out of the ring.
Do you know the name of the snake for Jake the Snake?
It's very familiar to me. It's Damien.
It was.
Damien, all right. Well, leading up to WrestleMania is just coming up in a few weeks. And
Couple weeks.
Another thing for you guys, check it out on our Facebook page. We have our WrestleMania meetup just before the Hall of Fame ceremony from 4 to 7 at
You
Stats.
need the RSVP, though, on the website to do that. And it's filling up quick, so you got to get there immediately.
Absolutely. And once again, it's at Stats in downtown Atlanta. Make sure to RSVP because we will all be there. Looking forward to meeting each and every one of you. Now it's time to get back over to Damien and David.
That way. No, that
Which
way.
I'm not sure which
That
way.
way. Up there.
This is new to me.
In Atlanta, Georgia on April 1st and 2nd, Honor takes center stage in 2 huge events. Tickets are sold out, but you can witness both events from your home for one price, $19.99 on GoFightLive.tv. On April 1st, the Kings of Wrestling defend the ROH World Tag titles against Haas and Benjamin, and Christopher Daniels challenges for the ROH World title. April 2nd, Haas and Benjamin have challenged the American Wolves. 2 great events for $19.99. April 1st and 2nd, GoFightLive.tv.
Hello? Seriously?
What?
Just because they're $399, now you're going to buy
Oh,
them?
are we back?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's cheap. That's a good deal.
See? Once again, I'm right. 2-0 tonight already.
Can we read?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You
Thank
know
you.
what? Those are youth sizes. You might want to get the men's sizes.
Well, I'm going to show off my guns.
Okay.
Boys meeting.
All right.
Thank you, Linda and Frank from the Social Media Center, and for sharing your thoughts. I want to remind all of you to join us on Facebook. Our Facebook address is facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report. And we're also on Twitter, David Hero.
Yes, we are. At PWR Show. At PWR Show.
Is there a better person to follow, a better account to follow than that of PWR for WrestleMania 27?
That's the only one to follow.
Each of us individually on Twitter as well, not hiding behind screen names, but under our own names as our screen names: Damian Nelson, David Hero, Linda K22,
And Frank
_Kaz.
So he's kind of hiding.
He was changing his name every week.
Yeah.
Well, Frank Cosentino won't fit.
Oh, it doesn't fit?
No, you only get so many characters,
Ah. Well, it sucks to be him, I guess.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Trish Stratus, Bill DeMott. Now The Rock is guest hosting.
Bill DeMott. That makes no sense.
WWE Tough Enough debuts Monday after WrestleMania 27. We know a little bit about some of the talents that are on the show, and it's been a while since we saw Tough Enough, but Tough Enough have brought us some pretty decent stars in WWE. What is your expectation for Tough Enough? It's done taping. It's in the can, if you will. It's going to start airing the night after WrestleMania, I believe, before Raw.
I think it's going to be a great show because you have such powerful personalities in Steve Austin and Trish Stratus.
Your hairdo's pissing me off.
You know, and actually that kid wrestles locally in the Chicagoland, Indiana area as well too. So, great look. I saw him about a year ago. Just, I'm sure he's gotten better since I saw him last, but he looks good. He understands the theory of the game, but we'll see what happens with him there.
No spoilers. because nobody knows except for those that were involved what's going to happen on this show, which is going to be good, going to build intrigue. Should Tough Enough have been what NXT isn't, especially with these laughable episodes of NXT that we've been getting lately? Because when Vince McMahon first announced NXT, it was we're going to follow the lives of these wrestlers, and it was going to be something revolutionary and a bit of a competition. Now they're sort of doing that with Tough Enough, and NXT is still a bit of a joke.
Tough Enough is the show. NXT is where the hotshot guys on the TV quick, who are already ready for TV. Tough Enough is more of the reality-based TV show.
What does the winner get? Do we know that?
I have no idea.
A chicken dinner?
Could be. Absolutely.
I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to Tough. I'm not looking forward to 3 hours of Raw or wrestling on Monday nights and then talking about it for 2 hours. But it should be a good show. I don't even know how many weeks it's going to run. I feel like 7 weeks was the number I saw. But it should be interesting. It should be very interesting to see what WWE comes up with and the antics of Stone Cold Steve Austin on that program.
These kids better listen. If you listen to anybody, it's Stone Cold. Because not only was he a great talker, but he was a great worker. I mean, he had great matches with a lot of people.
In the business for a very long time before he was Stone Cold Steve Austin as well.
Stunning Steve Austin down in Texas with the Von Erichs. And then, of course, in WCW. He's paid his dues.
Abdullah the Butcher announced as the next entrant, or the most recent entrant into the WWE Hall of Fame. I think his trophy will be a golden fork.
He deserves it. I mean, Rude, Savage, Bundy.
Is that logical thinking you're talking about again?
Oh, come on. You know what? Take care of your own first. Abdullah was never one of their own.
Mm-hmm. If this WrestleMania weren't happening in Atlanta, would Abdullah the Butcher be getting inducted?
Probably not.
And how can they do these inductions, and then, what is this, the second one now we've seen where there's not been a video package on TV about them being inducted, yet they want people to buy tickets for it and tune into this Hall of Fame? Are they...
It's completely different because the ones going to the Hall of Fame are the true diehard wrestling fans.
True, but do they dilute the value of the Hall of Fame by not pushing the Hall of Fame? I'm sure there's millions of people sitting at home wondering who, in addition to Shawn Michaels and Sonny and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, are going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's why they watch us.
I'm all out of energy to deal with you.
I've been so
We've got a
well-behaved.
week of shows. You have not!
I've been very good.
You pointed me to a website that was clearly hacked. Someone had gotten it in www.shop.com, and I just put my credit card information in there. And
Cody Rhodes, $3.99. That's dashing.
I want to remind all of you, too, if you're going to Hotlanta, check out the Ring of Honor shows as well. They're going to be doing some pay-per-view events, I believe, down there. Live events regardless at Center Stage in Atlanta. April 1st and 2nd are the shows. We went to Ring of Honor last year while in Phoenix for WrestleMania 26. And it's going to be some great wrestling action, and plan for a good amount of wrestling action at those Ring of Honor shows. But very good opportunity for especially the fans from overseas who have never had the exposure to Ring of Honor to come on over and be a part of it. I want to remind all of you that we are, each day next week, a brand new episode of the Pro Wrestling Report. Monday, ESPN Radio. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Be the Booker. Sunday, WrestleMania preview. And the post-show after WrestleMania as well. We're back on ESPN Radio Thursday, April 7th. Need some decompression time after we get back from WrestleMania. Thursday, April 7th.
But we'll be on this Monday night.
Oh, very good, yes. The 28th
With
after.
Rikishi.
Ah, yes.
Rikishi Fatu.
Yes. Is that why Frank was trying to give you the stink face earlier?
No.
You were talking about the guest for Monday, and he started to...
No. What are you doing here?
I asked a question. That's all I did. I saw things. I was busy with the interns finishing up in here and getting ready. And
No, absolutely.
Frank's a loose cannon. You never know what he's going to
No,
do.
Frank was explaining about this new ointment he's been having to use, and it was uncomfortable, and he was shake a little bit.
We'll see you Monday. Monday after WWE Raw 11 Eastern, 10 Central, streaming live at pwrshow.com from 540 ESPN4. David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer hero. This is Damian Nelson saying thanks for tuning in to the Pro Wrestling Report. Primetime.